Firsts, milestones. We measure our lives, events, history, even our card collections, like mile marker posts going down I-95. A collection of firsts. Today, I share with you some recent firsts that I've acquired within my vintage card collection. Here is my first Parkhurst Harkey card, sitting between my very first Michael Jack Schmidt card and my first Mel Daniels card and Pacers card from a vintage era of when the Pacers were winning ABA championships. In the first quarter of the year, I found this beautiful 1953 Parkhurst of goalie Al Rollins. I'm captivated by goalie cards, and the artistry of this one is spellbinding. Here we see Al skillfully blocking the net. Al was the 1951 Vezina Trophy winner with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but was traded after that season to Chicago and played in Chi-Town for the next 5 seasons. The Blackhawks went 141, 205, and 83 in that time span. Despite the poor record, Rollins was an all-star in the 1953-54 season and also was named the Hart Trophy MVP with a 12-47 record. He was an exceptional netminder on a really bad hockey team. Sticking with hockey, I recently picked up my first vintage OPC card of one of my favorite hockey players, Andy Bathgate. Here he is sitting between the 1970 Topps card of Stan Mikita and my recently acquired and first acquired 1970 Topps Super Glossy card of Bob Greasy. 1970 Topps OPC Hockey is a beautiful set with the variously colored backgrounds and faux spotlights. As I go forth with the goal of completing Bathgate's player run, I have completed my first vintage player run, which I will share the final card I just acquired next. And there it is, the 1974 Topps card of Vada Pinson. And with its addition, I've completed my first base card run with my favorite vintage player. I'm exceptionally proud of this completed run. Completing Pinson's run has inspired me to go for complete basic runs of Koufax, Marshall, Morgan, the here pictured Frank Robinson, and Carl Yastrzemski. Speaking of Robinson, this means I'm on the hunt for Robbie's 1957 Topps Ricky card, possibly to the chagrin of John 3D80's kid. But there are a handful of vintage baseball players I've yet to collect, and one card that I have on my short list that has just been acquired as well. Very recently, that short list got one player smaller with the addition of this nicely presentable 1955 Topps Ted Williams. Welcome, Splendid Splinter, to my collection. At $150 prior to shipping and taxes, it is unlikely I will collect any more vintage Teddy Ballgame cards. Yet, I feel very lucky to have found this one grade and the conviction to not think about it too long before it was gone. Here are a few cards, ungraded, that I picked up recently also, that are firsts for these players. The first one is this 1965 inspired modern card of Jackie Robinson with a vintage image. Vintage image. That sort of rhymes, kind of hard to say 10 times in a row. But he is on my short list of players to get a vintage card of that I still do not have. Here is Hideki Matsui, resplendent in late career Angels uniform, DHing at this point, but still demonstrating the power at the plate. And also show that I don't just collect vintage here, but also modern. It just depends on the player and what I like. But here's back to vintage. A card not to be graded, but to have a story told about it in the future. This is a special card pickup for me. None other of Joe Flash Gordon, the Hall of Famer, Yankees, Indians player. Maybe my favorite of his cards, where he's smiling big and bright. That blue sky, nice green grass, and the brown fence. Late in his career, but still playing. Pinholes and all, like bullets whizzing by his head when he saw combat during World War II. Grizzled, battle-tested card of a grizzled, battle-tested veteran that always showed up every day to play hard. And finally, a first of Allie Reynolds. This 1952 Topps card is heading for an SGC sleeve soon. And a bittersweet thought, it may be my last submission SGC. It's hard to say. But this card deserves to be in the tux with that bright, beautiful orange background, the Yankees cap, and the winning smile of one of the better pitchers to not make it to the Hall of Fame. And that's all I have for you today. So thank you for watching. Be safe at home, everyone.